Just what do you hope to get out of a tryout like this today as you start building this roster for next season?
It's really an exciting day for us as a club, obviously, because we get a chance to. We're well into the roster building process, but this is kind of an official launch into that in some ways too, because we're here with all of these folks here that are trying to play. I'm always impressed. There's guys that they're obviously passionate about playing. Some of them come with some great experiences. You never know what you're going to get when you open it up for an open tryout. And there's some really experienced players, some talented young players. There's a mixture. I think the age range I saw was like 16 to 46 in the group. So you get all kinds of players that come in between. And I want to make sure that we honor that and give them a really good experience, give them an opportunity to show what they have. And then obviously for us, the hope is that we find somebody, 1, 2, 3, 10, I don't know what the number would be, that can maybe help us. Right, and again, I'm not going to put it past anybody that we couldn't do that just here today. You got to start somewhere, right? And it's not the easiest route to a team through a trial like this. That is true, but it is a route, and so.
When you open up a tryout like this, especially when you have a lot of local guys, kind of like what you mentioned, a lot of kids, maybe as young as 16, that are still in high school. How much focus does that have with this club? The fact that you guys are making sure that you guys are giving the homegrown talent a chance to represent their hometown.
Yeah, we want to be Fort Wayne's team, and we want the community to come out and support us, and we're not just jumping in, and we want to be part of the community. And so if we can find players that are from here that can play for us, that would be amazing. And so of course we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we see as many players as we can and give them that opportunity.
And then why is it important to do a tryout like this? Like what are you hoping to get out of this experience, and why do you feel as a club it's important to do this tryout?
Well, I think there's a number of reasons. I think one of them, it's great publicity for the club, right? I mean, you guys are all here. We're all talking about soccer on the day after the World Cup draw, and in the middle of what feels like the dead of winter, even though it's not quite winter yet. So I think that they're keeping our name and excitement going, but we are actively in the roster building phase, and we want to make sure that we leave no stone unturned. And like I said, there might be a player here that's going to help us. We'll find out.
For sure. And then just how interesting, obviously you guys have had a lot of local talent through the USL 2 days.
Yeah.
Just how enriching has that experience been, and then how much do you hope that you do find that diamond in the rough here today?
Yeah, well, I hope very much so that we find that player here today. I mean, every player, DeMarcus Beasley is the most famous player probably that's come out of here, and one of the most famous players in our country's history. And he would have come to something like this if he was 15 or 16 years old living here in town, right? So how do you know that next player is not right here in the group right now? We're going to see about 100 players over the next 2 days. It's not easy to get to a team like ours because this is a very small slice of the larger pool of players that we're looking at to come into our team. I've looked at personally, I've talked on Zoom calls and phone calls to thousands of players over the last couple months. And it's amazing. I thought there was a lot of agents and players in the world. I had no idea. I'm overwhelmed sometimes by the number of messages that come my way. And so you're trying to do the best you can because you don't want to miss something, right? But I think we have a good plan in place on how we're building the roster. I think we've identified with our experience in USL 2 how we want to play, the kind of player that fits our system, the kind of player that fits our club's culture, that fits me and the coaching staff. So I think we're well on our way to building a strong team, but again, this might be an opportunity to add to it, and we're excited to do it.